Ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Order the April 3rd, 2023 Richland County Planning Commission meeting. Staff, please confirm the following. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, a copy of the agenda was sent to the news media, persons requesting notification, and posted on the bulletin board located in the County Administration Building. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Staff, can you please take attendance for today's meeting?
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Betts.
Here.
Grady.
Here.
Yonke.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Turks.
Here.
Durant.
Here.
Thank you, staff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the April 3rd, 2023 Richland County Planning Commission meeting. As planning commissioners, we are concerned residents of Richland County who volunteer our time to thoroughly review and make recommendations to County Council. Our recommendations are to approve or deny zoning map amendment requests. Per Title VI, Chapter 29 of the SC Code of Laws, Planning Commission may also prepare and revise plans and programs for the development or redevelopment of unincorporated portions of the county. The county's land development code rewrite process conducted last year is an example of this. Once again, we are a recommending body to County Council, and they will conduct their own public hearing and take official votes to approve or deny map amendments and text amendments on a future date to be published by the county. Council typically holds zoning public hearings on the fourth Tuesday of the month. Please check the county's website for updated agendas, times, and dates. Please take note of the following guidelines for today's meeting. Please turn off or silence any cell phones. Audience members may quietly come and go as needed. Applicants are allowed up to 2 minutes to make statements. Citizens signed up to speak are allowed up to 2 minutes each. Redundant comments should be minimized. Please only address remarks to the commission and do not expect the commission to respond to questions from the speaker in a back and forth style. This is not the purpose of the meeting. Please no audience speaker exchanges. No audience demonstrations or disruptions to the meeting are permitted, nor are comments from anyone other than the speaker at the podium. Please remember the meeting is being recorded. Please speak into the microphone and give your name and address. Abusive language is inappropriate and will not be tolerated. Please don't voice displeasure or frustration at a recommendation while the Planning Commission is still conducting business. If you have any questions or concerns, you may contact the Richland County Planning Department staff. Thank you. We're going to move on to number 3 now. Additions or deletions to the agenda. We're also going to deal with any motions to amend the agenda.
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Dennis.
Yes, sir. I have a change to the agenda. The approval of minutes. 4B, February 6, 2023 was not in our packet, so we would need to remove those minutes. Because can't vote on something didn't have.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. Staff, can you confirm?
That is correct. We put that as a placeholder there with hopes that it would be in time, but we actually did receive them this weekend, but we weren't able to get them out to you since it was Sunday, so it'll be on next month's agenda.
Staff, I am marking off 4B. Any other motions to change the agenda? Commissioners? All right, thank you. We'll move on to number 5 then, which is our consent agenda.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah, I made a motion, so it would have to be seconded to approve the agenda change, and then you have to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. Okay. The motion by Commissioner Dennis was to update the agenda to remove item 4B. Does the chair have a second? Pause till we fix our feedback. Thanks. All right, we're going to rewind. Let's do this. Mr. Commissioner Dennis, what was your motion?
Yes, I make a motion to remove item 4B from our agenda, the February 6, 2023 minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All right. I have a second from Mr. Durant. All right. Can you conduct a vote, staff, please?
Taylor,
Aye.
Metz, Grady,
Aye.
Yonke,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Dirks,
Aye.
Durant.
Aye.
Thank you, staff. Now we will move on to number 5, our consent agenda. The consent agenda is an action item that allows the commission to approve road names and map amendment requests where the staff recommends approval. No one from the public has signed up to speak against the amendment, or no member of the commission is in need of further discussion. Today, I'm going to ask Commissioner Dennis, which cases do we have people signed up to speak and we need to remove from the agenda?
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Dennis.
Yes, the consent agenda, we would remove the road names 5A because I did not see any in the packet. And we would also remove case or pull case 23-008 MA and 23-009 MA for discussion as they are recommended for disapproval from staff.
Commissioner Dennis, I do see one road name. Or page 1.
All right, so somehow those stuck together. So let me amend that agenda, or let me amend that motion. Move to pass the road names on to county council for approval and pull case number 23-008 MA and 23-009 MA for discussion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Second came from Commissioner Sirks. Thanks.
All right, so just as a reminder, the roads names are approved by planning commission. This is the final decision-making body, just as FYI. Our coordinator wanted us to. mention that,
Thank
so,
you.
uh,
Okay.
But all right, so for the vote, Taylor?
Aye.
Metz? Grady?
Aye.
Yonke?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Dirks?
Aye.
Durant?
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Thank you, staff. We are going to move on now to item number 5B1, map amendment case number 23-008 MA. Commissioner Dennis, do we have someone sign up to speak? Or let's hear from staff first. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So, of course, we have case 23-00 MA. The request is for a map amendment change from the residential single-family low-density district to the neighborhood commercial district. The site's approximately 0.39 acres. It's located at 8,033 Kaufman Road. Again, the TMS number R191161102. So the parcel is located in the neighborhood medium density district, which recommends that the commercial development be located along main road corridors within a contextually appropriate distance from the intersection of a primary arterial. Staff felt that in review of this, that the subject parcel was not located along a main road corridor or within a suitable distance of a traffic junction. And for those reasons, staff recommended disapproval.
Thank you, staff. Question about something you said. You said it's located in the median residential district.
That's correct.
Is that
The
true?
the neighborhood medium density future land use.
Okay,
category.
that's for the
So,
future land use. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, any questions for staff? If there are none, Commissioner Dennis, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
Chairman, we have 0 participants signed up to speak for case number 23-00 MA.
Was there anyone in the audience that may have forgotten to sign up and would like to speak on this? Yes, sir. Okay, if you'd like to come up to the podium, give it your name and address, we'll get you up there. Thank you. You'll have 2 minutes to speak.
For 23008, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I did sign up. I don't know if you've got the sign up sheet or not, but I did sign up on that. I'm
Sometimes
Mark-
the names.
I'm Mark Glenn. My property is 9467 and 9469 Kaufman Road.
Copy. Yes, sir. You signed up. You just signed up on the
Thank
wrong
you, sir.
one. You're good.
Okay. As I said, I'm Mark Glenn and my property is 9467 and 9469 on Kaufman Road. I'm an adjacent property owner and I'll be brief on this. It's my understanding that this change of zoning to neighborhood commercial allows for businesses such as bars or convenience stores, which could very likely decrease property values of not only my property, but adjacent property owners. So if so, this increase in value to the property for which the zoning request is being made would be at the expense of my property and other nearby property landowners, if that's the case. So I would request this zoning change be denied for this reason. I'm sure you've already considered the congested traffic issues in the area for this property. I'm not an authority on that, but it's quite congested there. But there are also problems with excessive noise much of the time, and having a business that allows a lot of in and out traffic will only worsen this situation and be very detrimental to the residential community, in my opinion. I'm not against anybody doing what they can with their property. It's going to be at the expense of my property, I feel, and adjacent property owners can voice their opinion on that, but the noise, the traffic, the in and out traffic in a residential area, this does not fit well, in my opinion, for that property. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Chair now opens this up for discussion with the commissioners. Session, or I would invite any motions.
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Dennis.
Yes, sir. I have a motion to send case number 23-008 MA to county council with a recommendation of disapproval.
Do I have a second to the motion?
Second.
Second. Commissioner Durant. We have a motion on the floor with a second. Staff, would you mind taking a vote?
Yes, sir. Taylor,
I'll abstain.
Metz,
Aye.
Grady,
Aye.
Yonke,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Dirks,
Aye.
Durant.
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Yeah. If I
Yes.
may,
Commissioner
just so
Taylor.
there's no conflict of interest, I did have a direct access to this particular property, which is why I abstained from voting. And I did look into it while it was for sale, so. And normally that wouldn't necessarily disqualify me, but because I did have an actual interest in this particular one, that is why I abstained from voting.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. And we are recommending body to county council. They will have their vote at their zoning public hearing, which is usually the fourth Tuesday of the month. We will move on to item number 5B, our next map amendment case, number 23-009 MA.
All right, so the applicant for this case is currently zoned RU, rural district, and requesting the general commercial district. The site is 3 acres in a portion of the property. Let's see, it is located at Garner's Ferry Road, actually west of the CERN, which is the master plan, the neighborhood master plan for the Lower Richland Boulevard intersection. It is located within the Lower Richland neighborhood master plan, which is the overall larger plan for the Lower Richland area. In this particular case, the property is, apologies, I have to flip, located in the neighborhood medium density featured land use category. which is similar to the previous case, recommends that commercial along major road corridors within a contextually appropriate distance from the intersection. And staff in their review said that principally recommends disapproval. While the subject site is located along a main road corridor, it is not within a contextually appropriate distance from the intersection of a primary arterial. However, although the request is not located at a traffic junction, the site is adjacent to existing commercial uses that are located in an area where other commercial uses have been established. As the intent of the GC district is to orient primarily to major traffic arteries or areas of commercial usage, the request could be deemed to be in character with the developing commercial nature of the area. And for those reasons, staff recommends disapproval of the request.
Thank you, staff. Any questions for staff on the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Durant.
Question for staff. The adjacent properties, particularly the ones across Garners Ferry Road from the property at issue, appear to be general commercial. Do the staff know whether those were originally rural and at some point changed to general commercial, or were they always general commercial?
So under the zoning history for the general area, it appears that the commercial site, which is in particular, if you look over at my mouse, it's hovering over, was rezoned back in 2014. Let's see. And also, I apologize, I believe that one was in 2014. Sorry, I'm just running through the case numbers. No, I apologize. I swapped them around. So 14, and for this parcel here, which is showing up as the Google spot, and then the other one was in 2002. So within the last 23 years roughly.
In the last 23 years, they were rezoned
Rezoned.
from, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions, Durant?
Yeah, I do, Mr. Chair. One other question.
Yes.
I guess this is for staff. Is there the tendency here that there's a trend of moving these rural lots toward general commercial, seeing how there's several general commercials nearby, and this one is trying to become general commercial also? Is there a trend that was going on, or it just happened that way?
I would think, given based on the request in this general area, there has been the desire and in some cases needs for certain properties to be rezoned from rural to general commercial, whether it be by the fact that there was already an adjacent commercial zoning district next to the site, particularly in case with the property that's kind of located east of this portion of, you had an existing commercial use. Next to it was needed for additional parking, and it kind of made sense that you've already got commercial beside it, commercial across the street. So in that case, kind of looking at it not necessarily as an infill, but as a natural kind of progression of that commercial. Given if this were ideally in a perfect planning world and you were able to start from scratch and move out, you would kind of be centric and kind of go out without necessarily leapfrogging a little bit. But as you can kind of see, even west of here, there's a good bit of general commercial. So there is some logic being that it's a major highway that there would be some commercial kind of trailing down, especially from major intersections.
Thank you, staff. Thank you, Commissioner Durant. Commissioner Dennis, do we have anyone sign up to speak?
Yes, we do. It looks like a Hank Mabry. Mabry?
Good afternoon. My name's Hank Mabry. I'm the agent for the owner of the property. Basically what we have here is about a 25-acre tract that's zone rural, and the owner is agreeable to rezone 3 acres of the property up front. In just a minute, you're going to hear from Mr. Lee Bell, who is actually the applicant. And Mr. Bell is going to tell you a little bit about what he plans to do or would like to do and why he needs a general commercial zoning. I read and I listened to what staff said, and I appreciate the traffic concern about this. To me, it didn't sound like it was a strong disagreement on what we're trying to do. And there are a number of general commercial uses in this area already, across the street, within a rock's throw of this property. And I can think of a number of things other than what Mr. Bell plans to do on this property. If the new owner decided he needed to go from like a rural zone into something else to put on 25 acres of land. There's a tremendous amount of housing going on, as y'all know. Garners Ferry Road is getting more and more traffic. But physically, there's no way to move this tract of land up to Lower Richland Boulevard, where we're trying to get the commercial uses to concentrate. Unfortunately, this is something that's happened over time, the way we've had this leapfrogging. But I think the general commercial should be strongly considered for this property. And all we're talking about is 3 acres of a 25-acre block. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, one other thing. Is Miss Jones here? Miss Jones, she is the adjoining property owner, and we tried to contact her and to see if she had any objections. We tried to explain what we were doing, and we never heard anything from her.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Dennis, next.
Michael Bell.
Hey, good afternoon. So I'm Michael Bell. I own a landscaping company here in Richland County, and I've lived here probably about 2 miles from this property.
Please state your address for the record, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
541 Old Congaree Run in
Thank you.
Eastover. So, my plan is to have a retail nursery here on this property. I went to church with previous owners of this property, and now their daughter owns it. I think that it is a good use for the land, predominantly because there's a flood zone that comes through the back portion of the property. I don't think it would be useful for anything else other than just maybe hunting or something like that. The portion that we're talking about is just basically drawing a straight line off of that corner. That is the first 3 acres that you get to along the roadside. I think it's a great opportunity for the area, something that we don't have in this side of town, like a Reese's Plants or a Woodley's Garden Center. And I'm trying to use my expertise to improve our community.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a seat. Staff, I would like, with the map, if we could pull up the wetlands layer. Thank you. And the chair now opens this up for discussion.
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Grady.
So a question for staff. Because we see this phrase pop up a lot because it's cited in the comprehensive plan. I was wondering if there was any context that could be provided. So I think we've had the discussion on my previous stint on the planning commission about the definition of a primary arterial and how that is classified. how, in the opinion of staff, how would you define the phrase contextually appropriate distance?
I think in most cases, what we would look at is contextually appropriate, kind of sound like what it is, depending on the location, how it functions. The intersection of Garner's Ferry and Lower Richland Boulevard is a little bit different than, say, Hardscrabble Road and Clemson Road. So in these cases, we're looking at existing zoning districts, existing uses, whether that be immediately adjacent to the site or kind of if you kind of zoom out a little bit, the development pattern and character. So that's kind of how we kind of come up with what we feel is contextually appropriate. I know it sounds or could be subjective, but we typically try to look at the area in each individual case and try to make a decision based off of those factors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grady.
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Commissioner Taylor.
question for staff. In your conclusion, and I could be reading it wrong, but seems like the only real objection comes in that first paragraph, while the second paragraph seems to support that it could go to this. Is that correct? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Thank you.
Taylor.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
question for
Mr.
staff.
Sturks. Thanks.
So kind of on a similar note, I see in the second paragraph where it says is adjacent to existing commercial uses and located in an area where other commercial uses have been established. But under the zoning district summary, it says that the GC district is intended primarily to be oriented to major traffic arteries, which we already talked about, or extensive areas of predominantly commercial usage. Is there any, special meaning to the, particular phrases, extensive areas and predominantly commercial uses? I mean, is that kind of dealer's choice in terms of what we're looking at, or are those subjective phrases, I guess, is the question that I'm asking.
Yes, sir. So that terminology and those phrases came from the purpose statement, which is included with every zoning district. So when you look up the general commercial district in our code, they'll have a general purpose statement kind of saying what the intended locations for those zoning districts are. And we include those as kind of, I don't want to say necessarily a definition, but kind of the intent behind them. And then we further kind of back that up with the comprehensive plan, and that's recommendations. So it can often be a little bit of a blend when it comes to the staff's decision, but that's where that language came from. And it is a little bit, kind of subjective in its intent as far as for the purpose statement.
Thank you.
Any other comments, concerns, commissioners? I also invite any motions.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Durant.
I move that the zoning request for project 23-009 MA be approved based primarily on the, language in staff's second paragraph in its conclusion that the property is adjacent to existing commercial uses and is located in an area where other commercial uses have been established.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. We have a motion on the floor for approval. Do we have a second? We have a second from Commissioner Metz. With that, staff, can you take a vote?
Yes, sir. Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Metz?
Aye.
Grady?
Aye.
Yonke?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Dirks?
Aye.
Durant?
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Thank you, staff. Again, we are recommending body to county council. Our recommendation will go forward to them and they will have their vote at their next zoning public meeting.
Chair?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and look at something. I think when I made my motion for item 4 approval of minutes, I think I just did it to remove the February 6th minutes. I don't think I did it to actually also approve the minutes for November 7, 2022. And I, for the life of, did I make it to approve those minutes? Okay, yeah, so we need to take a vote on that.
Point.
I think we started running a little bit.
Our
quick.
apologies. Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Dennis. So looking at the agenda, item number 4, approval of minutes, we need a motion to approve or deny our November 7th, 2022 minutes. Before I ask for that motion, commissioners, did we have any questions or discussion on these minutes? So this was a thick packet, a long meeting. Yes.
Just a comment, a reminder that the staff and the commission has noted that commissioners did not have to be present at the meeting in order to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Commissioner Grady is back with us, and that means you can also vote on these. All right. Staff looks for a motion on the November 7th, 2022 minutes.
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Dennis.
Yes, sir. I would like to approve the minutes for November 7, 2022.
Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Taylor. Staff, can you please take a vote?
Yes, sir. Durant,
Aye.
Dirks,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Yonke,
Aye.
Grady.
Aye.
Metz.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Thank you, everyone. And thanks for helping me out on that.
Yeah, Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Commissioner
should have
Dennis.
made that motion in with my other one, but I was thinking we was going to do it separately. But I just wanted to make sure those minutes were crucial for the public to see what we've done for the LDC. So I wanted to make sure those were approved.
If I'm correct, this moves us on to item number 6 on the agenda, which is the chairman's report. All I have this time is to say thank you, commissioners, for your time every month and your time you take to research each map amendment. Thank you for everyone with the land development code rewrite last year. I want to welcome back Commissioner Grady. Welcome back, sir. We're happy to have you. We have several, the Richland planning staff is hosting several open house meetings for the land development code rewrite. This was published on the website under the news tab. Everyone's encouraged to attend one if possible. It helps out the public and educating on the code and moving forward with the county council beginning to conduct their readings. I've been invited to speak for county council in front of county council tomorrow night on behalf of the commission on the work that we did. I can encourage anyone interested to attend that meeting or listen in 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's all I have for the chairman's report. Now we'll move forward to number 7, the planning director's report. Mr. DeLage, as you're standing in today.
So yes, nothing new to report. The only thing I was going to mention was the meeting tonight at the Eastover Library. So it's from 6 to 7:30. It's going to be a similar format for other meetings. I know that we have 2 scheduled in the upcoming week with more to follow. So just as a reminder, just to keep an eye out, and we'll be going all around to different districts throughout the county. So
Thank you, Mr. DeLage. Number 8 on the agenda is other items for discussion. Anyone have any other items for discussion?
Chair, I do have a question.
Yes,
I
Commissioner Grant.
think it was either at the last meeting or the one before, but was there anything left over for us to do or discuss regarding short-term rentals?
Staff, Any knowledge on that?
So just a little bit, not a whole lot really to report. I know that we'd had some discussions about coming back at a later meeting date. I think there's some, potential for that to come back up at a regularly scheduled meeting in the future. Also, I think that we're also watching closely the recommendations for the land development code, as that does contain language that would address it in some form for the 2021 code. So potentially maybe, once we kind of get a little bit firmer date or potential for adoption of maps, that could kind of help dictate when we bring that back and what kind of language. But certainly there's no reason why we couldn't bring back language at the next or at a sooner date as far as for the short-term rentals, because there's still great interest in it.
Pat, thank you, sir.
Here.
Yes, Commissioner Dennis?
For short-term rentals, have we looked at anything with the city of Columbia with that to partner with them? Because I know they're not doing zoning, they're doing ordinance.
That's correct. Yes. Actually, our business service center, I wish he was here because he actually asked me about it before coming in. They're looking into it. He's kind of the gentleman, Zach Kavanaugh, is working with the city as far as we're looking into kind of how they're doing it. So we are considering that. They are doing it a little bit differently though, but just like you said, they're not necessarily at this time, the ordinance is not through the zoning code, it's through another area. So that is something to consider moving forward as a potential option, either in combination with a zoning ordinance or potentially in a standalone.
Thank you, staff. Unless there's anything else up for discussion, the chair would look for number 9, a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second? All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next month. Yeah, we had to vote
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
with your hands. Thank
the
you,
vote
sir.
is unanimous.
Unanimous. There you go. Too excited.